Good evening, one and all. Hope you're well. Welcome back to the show. We're back to talk Arsenal, and I'm back with my boy Lee Gunner. And I'm going to apologise because Lee's getting the blame in the chat for being late, and it was me that was late. So apologies, man. How are you, bro? Happy New Year, man.
Yeah, Happy New Year, bro. Hope you're good. Well, I was actually on time. I've been on time for every stream today, I think, pretty much. Oh, actually, I lied. The last stream I did, I was late. But again, I wasn't late. Rants was late. 15 minutes late. I was ready and waiting.
What's happening with you? What's going on, man? This is like new year, new start. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm still gonna go late here and there. But bro, last year I said this to you backstage. Last year I was mad lazy, man. Yeah, this year I'm going back to the work rate I had that built my channel up in the first place. Yeah, and I've done a recording with Troops earlier for his podcast. I was on that for nearly 2 hours. I've done an upload about João Felix. Just done a stream with Rants. I've been on Terry's show for about an hour or so. Now I'm on here. After this, I'm doing a watch along on my second channel, and then we do it all over again tomorrow.
Wicked, man. Well, listen, the hard work was, hard work is paying off, my friend. You're doing good bits, and keep going, man. And it's a pleasure to have you back on, and everyone loves you on this show. Listen, there's nowhere else to start really, other than the signing of João Felix today, it seems, from Chelsea, and I wanted to get your thoughts on this one, seeing as Arsenal were linked. I did a show not too long ago, and I made a bit of a speech about Arsenal accountants in the fan base that seem to be really happy that we're saving money and we're going nowhere near this deal. And I wanted to get your thoughts on Arsenal pulling out, it seems, of the João Felix deal because he's too much money for a loan fee. I think he would have been a great signing. I would have been one that excited me. Definitely better than Eddie Nketiah, although to be fair, deserves his flowers of the last few weeks. We'll come on to that. But the João Felix one for now, man. What's you making of this one, Gunnar?
Typical Arsenal, isn't it? Typical Arsenal fans as well. Oh, it's too much money. Well, it ain't your money, so who cares? Like, real talk, bro. People that have watched every show I've done today are going to get bored of me saying this, yeah? Right. But when you text me and said, can you come on? I said, yeah, of course. Like, and you see my schedule. Yeah. And you was like, oh, no, you're busy. No, I'm coming on because I want more people to hear this. Yeah. It's not your money. So why do you care? Like, and when people want to sit there and say, oh, but we've saved money by not doing 15.5 million, which is what it is, 15.5 million for João Felix for 4.5 months. Yeah, it's 15.5 mil. So we've saved 15.5 mil, cool. But he walked straight in the first 11 over Eddie. Yeah, but no, he wanted Chelsea. Yeah, Mikel and the club have got a plan. I'm not even putting Mikel in that. I shouldn't have said him. Edu's got a plan. Yeah, forget Mikel Arteta. We'll come back to him in a second, yeah? But them same people are sitting there trying to make out that signing an absolute nobody from Ukraine, dubbed the Ukrainian Neymar, because he looks good on YouTube compilations and because he's twerking for us all over his Instagram page. Like, apparently, that's a good deal at 75 mil plus probably 100 grand a week for 5 years. That's now 100 million, Dan. But that's a good deal. And he don't walk in the team because Martinelli plays there. And if Martinelli don't play, then Smith Rowe's playing. So where's he fit in? He don't play right. He don't play up front. But I'm not allowed to say that. You're negatively. Now, take that 75 mil. Forget the wages. Take the 75 mil. 15 mil for João Felix leaves 60 mil. 20 mil for Wilf Zaha, which is a stopgap, yes, but I don't care about next season. The future is this season. Now 20 mil for him. That leaves 40 mil off of that 75 mil. Let's say that there's 50 mil up front. Yeah, and then the 20 mil or 25 mil was on add-ons. Cool. So 50 mil for Mudryk up front or as a base payment, yeah? Right? 35 mil after you paid for Felix, but that includes his wages. 20 mil leaves you 15 mil because now you've got Zaha. That 15 mil pays for Tielemans. You've now plugged 3 gaps in your team. When he turns to the bench against Newcastle and goes, don't really fancy Fabio Vieira. Wilfred, warm up, mate. You're coming on. Yeah, Tielemans, you're on as well. Oh, Felix, yeah, you can come on for a debut as well, mate. Instead, we're sitting there. I don't even know what we're doing, Dan, right? We have been in for this player since the summer for 40 mil, and we thought that was too much. Yeah? And now we're going to pay nearly double. What has Edu done since September when the window shut? What were they all doing in Florida with Cecil? Like, what was going on? What have they done? I expected yellow ticker tape. Maybe I should expect nothing. I won't be disappointed. Yellow ticker tape, bang, 1st of January. Arsenal have signed Mudryk or João Felix or even Trossard. We spoke earlier about Trossard.
Yeah.
What about Houssem Aouar? Because the Arsenal board were in love with him. Fabrizio told me on my own channel. That was a couple of years ago. He's out of contract in 6 months. What, we're not in love with him anymore? It baffles me, bro. It really does. But this fan base, I said this to you earlier, this fan base, if we sign Mudryk, doesn't matter what happens, doesn't matter whether his career goes up or whether it stagnates, whether it drops back. He could drop 0 out of 10 performances every week. He's got a free pass. He's got a free pass. And these people don't watch Ukrainian league football, and they're all trying to be experts on this player. Bro, if he was that good, right, Ukrainian Neymar, he's dubbed in Ukraine. Bro, Neymar was finishing number 10 in the Ballon d'Or at 19. This kid's not even played 30 league games for Ukrainian Shakhtar Donetsk at 22. Make it make sense, Dan. Honestly, mate, I'm backed.
Well, listen, I said to you earlier, and I'll say it again, I'm not going to judge Mudryk until he wears an Arsenal shirt, because I didn't do that with Ramsdale, and it was the right thing to do, because a lot of people had written him off before. And I feel like that's only fair. Where I'm agreeing with you is that I agree on you with a couple of things. I agree on you with the fact that at the moment, the board and Edu, I'm laying off Arteta here, by the way. Everyone thinks I'm going to get down his neck. No, not at all. No. He's done very well this season, and I'm saying well done to him. He deserves his flowers. But Edu and the board are telling me at the moment, 10 days in, that they don't care. Now, we're going to go to Man United and Tottenham without anybody on the bench. No striker on the bench, no firepower on the bench, bringing on Tommy Asu and Tierney as our 2 subs. It's embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. And I like Tommy Asu and Tierney. It's not even a dig against them. But he ain't winning anything, bringing on a right back and a left back. So that's where I'm looking at the board thinking, what are you actually doing? Where I'm agreeing with you with the Mudryk is if you've actually got that much money that's in, and I don't know what money we've got. Maybe one of the Arsenal accountants can tell me. They seem to know. I personally feel like if you was to say to me now, you can cover these 3 positions in centre forward, wide forward, and defensive midfield or centre midfield or whatever, I would take that over left wing. 100% I would.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't mean I don't want Mudryk. It means that actually, if we're going to not get Mudryk because of filling those 3 positions, of course, I'm going to fill 3 positions other than 1. Having said that, on the other side, Mudryk, from what I see, and it is very little, like most people, nobody watches Mudryk every week, by the way. Let's have it right. Nobody sat there and watched Mudryk every week.
Football, mate.
Precisely, right? Facts. So I can only go on what I've seen in the Champions League games that I watched, which were very few, because I don't watch Shakhtar Donetsk. Why would I? And also YouTube compilations, which, let's be honest, I watched them on Mustafi and thought, bloody hell, with San Cannavaro. So let's be clear. This guy could be a flop. He could be wicked. You only go on what you hear. And he's hyped up to be this amazing, what did you call him? Ukrainian Neymar, right?
Yep.
So he could be a fantastic signing. Lee, if we sign him, I hope he's better than Neymar. I hope he's unbelievably good and we think, wow, what a signing. But if he isn't, then we're going to say, crikey, we've spent 72 million on Pepe, which everyone said flopped, and now 70-odd million on Mudryk, and we've got massive gaps in our squad still. So I totally get where you're coming from. As for the Felix thing, just lastly, before you come back in on that, I'm disappointed, and I'll tell you why I'm disappointed. Because if that 15 million or whatever is that Chelsea have signed him for wins Arsenal the league, I'm going to be asking why we didn't do it. And the reason that it could have won Arsenal the league is because if we're sitting there against Spurs, Man United and City, who we've got twice in quick succession, with Mudryk and Felix on the bench, then I'm more confident winning those games than I'm not without them. So that's why I'm disappointed so far. Now, there's only 10 days. Oh, we've got 20 days left. Calm down. It's going to be fine. Fine. Let's hope it is, because if it ain't, when this shuts, I'm coming for all of them board, all the cronkies, and I'm asking why in a title race are we having Eddie and Nketiah as our only forward?
Mate, I make it right. And listen, all of these people that are sitting there saying calm down, were the same people that were saying calm down last January.
Yeah, facts.
Players and didn't replace any of them. Yeah, and then they were the same people that were laughing at Tottenham. We're 4 points clear, we're free to go. And then we finished behind them. Yeah, these are the same people that are just happy with 4th place, Dan. Yeah, like real talk. And then what will happen is we'll get Mudryk in. This fan base will go nuts. It'll be the most protected footballer ever to play for this football club, even more protected than Mesut Ozil ever was. Yeah, because it's Mudryk. I'm sick of hearing the guy's name. Yeah, real talk. Yeah, I know. Listen, you said you're going to give him. I hope he smashes it. But you see the way they treated Pepe, this fan base. That's the standards I'm holding this kid to. Yeah, that is the standard I'm holding this kid to. If he has a 0 out of 10, he's getting ripped. Yeah, I don't care, Dan. I'm sick and tired of it. Right, we're top of the table. Best opportunity to win a title since 2016. We're in 2023. What did we do that year? Oh, well, no one was available. We could only sign Petr Cech. Yeah, agent check. This time round, we had, we sat here on this very show, I think, in the summer and said I said the transfer window was a 4 out of 10. Yeah, in the summer. These same people that are sitting there going, oh, yeah, Mudryk. Oh, yeah, brilliant. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, great. Yeah, they were the same people giving it an 8 out of 10.
In 9 out of 10, some of them.
9 out of 10. So if that's the case, then with Mudryk, we win the title. Oh, no, we ain't going to win the title. No. It's a process. And then when we don't win the league because we didn't plug the other gaps that were needed to be filled, and we only signed a guy that we don't even need to plug that gap because we've got Martinelli and Smith Rowe there, right? Now what's going to happen is, oh, well, we were never going to win it anyway. We were ahead of schedule. David Ornstein put the tweet out. Arsenal see it ahead of schedule. The same as when we finished 5th and he put out the tweet. It's not a big loss for Arsenal because they were ahead of schedule if they finished 4th. So if we finish 2nd, 3rd or 4th, well, we're ahead of schedule. In fact, if we finish in the Champions League, we're bang on schedule, aren't we? Because Ornstein said we were ahead of schedule by being 4th last season and finishing 5th. So this season, the target's 4th. And unfortunately, Dan, this fan base, most of them, not all of them, but most of them online have been brainwashed by Arsene Wenger into thinking that is a trophy. Yeah, it's not. The trophy is winning the title. I marched down Hornsey Road trying to get Wenger out the club with banners and protests because finishing 2nd to Leicester weren't good enough. Why am I changing now? We're top of the league. Give me what I want. I've waited 19 years for this. I've gone through all the heartache. I've travelled all around the world watching my football club, Dan. Yeah, I've been in Swansea away, 4 a.m. I got in soaked. I had to go work the next day. Yeah, I've been all the way up to Newcastle. I've been everywhere, all around the world. Bate Borisov away, Ostersund's away, Atleti away. Yeah, I've been everywhere watching this club. We deserve, mate, to win that title. And if we don't win it, at least have a go at it. By buying this kid, I genuinely don't care if we sign him or not. Real talk. I don't care. Yeah, the fact and reality is people are sitting there going, oh, yeah, but he's a generational talent. Okay, well, why ain't Madrid signed him then? Why ain't PSG in for him? Why ain't Bayern in for him? Why ain't Barca in for him? Why ain't Dortmund coming in? Why ain't somebody put in the last stream I did with Rans? Why ain't Sporting, Bayern, Dortmund, Ajax, all of these clubs that you go, oh, flipping hell, they've got a lot of good players because they're scouting networks. So why ain't they brought him in? He may be great, but the point is, Dan, I don't care if he's great. He's one player in one position where we've already got 2 players. Go and give me 3 players. Yeah, go and buy Zaha for a quarter of the price. He plays up front, he plays right, he plays left. Now, if Saka does get an injury, you can put him on the right and you know he's cool. You can play him up front. He'll play second fiddle to Jesus. No drama. But you can also get Felix in there. And now you've got Zaha, Jesus, Felix, and Eddie. Then you've got Odegaard, Fabio, and Smith Rowe who can all play there. And then on the left, you can play Martinelli, Smith Rowe. Jesus can play on the left, more so the right, but Zaha as well. You could drop Felix into number 10, where Odegaard, well, he's not really a 10, but in that position. You could then drop Odegaard into Granit Xhaka's position if you wanted to, because that's his real position. It gives you so many options with these players. Instead, we're going to buy a guy that's so overhyped off of the back of his own hype train on Instagram that this fan base have lapped it all up and gone, we don't need Felix. We're getting Mudryk, mate. The same Mudryk nobody heard of before July last year. Sorry, mate. I'm Dan. Listen, I hope I am wrong. But if you're going to blow your load on one player in a position where you've already got 2, and you're not going to plug the CM gap or the striker gap, Edu needs to get sacked instantly. Yeah, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to lay off Arteta because I make you right as well. He has overachieved with the squad that we've had so far this season. We should not be top with that squad, Dan. Yeah, but now Thomas Partey gets injured. Who's coming in? Oh, what, El Neni? Oh, yeah, but he did well last season for 8 games. Yeah, we went from 4th to 5th. Yeah, but Eddie's doing all right at the minute. It's Oxford, mate.
Do you know what, Lee? Just quickly on Eddie as well. Like, it's fair enough. And do you know what? He deserves some flowers because he has come in and done a job, right? But do you know what? What happens if he pulls a hamstring now?
Martinelli will go up front and we'll put Smith Rowe on the left. Don't worry, Smith Rowe's back. Like a new signing. Mate, this fan base deserve everything they get because they sit there. Dan, I see these people, right? Their bot accounts. I swear the club pay them. And they sit there squirking for Felix the other day. And now all they're doing is going, well, yeah, it was too much money anyway. Oh, Chelsea ain't got a plan. Yeah, they have. Their plan is to buy the best players or loan the best players or do whatever. So they'll go and get the names. Yeah, that may or may not work. At least they're showing some ambition. Look at the last names that they brought. Koulibaly. I think every Arsenal fan would have wanted Koulibaly a year ago. Sterling. Okay, cool. He's hit and miss. But he'll bag goals. Yeah. Aubameyang, cool. We can put him in the bin because I know this fan base don't like him anymore, but he's the reason your manager's still got a job. No drama. Yeah, real talk. Right. Same fan base that wanted Lacazette signed up to a new deal, by the way. But now, he was rubbish in the end. Yeah, look, he's don't matter. Yeah, then you look at Cucurella. I think a lot of our fans would have took Cucurella last summer. Yeah, before we signed Zinchenko. If it was Cucurella before Zinchenko was linked to us, I think a lot of our fans would have took that. Yeah, then you look into Zakaria. Well, we were linked to him. Our fans were putting out compilations about him.
And he's been good. And he's been good as well, I think.
He's played a couple of games. He's looked their best midfielder.
Same here. I agree with you. The
point is, this fan base hype up every single player linked to us, right? And then when they don't come to us after they've put them up here, well, Chelsea are ruining the game. FFP. Well, Chelsea, let me tell you something. Let me educate these idiots, if any of them are in the chat. Most of the people in here are cool, right? But if there is any idiots that come across this stream, right, let me tell you something. Roman left them debt-free. They can spend what they want. Literally, and they've got 3 years.
And they are.
And they are. So what would you rather? Go and spend whatever you want and just throw a load of money at it, yeah? Or would you rather, let's sign a player for 75 mil that no one heard of, no big team wants him, only Everton and Brentford were in for him in the summer. We could have got him for 40
for about 25 million they put in Brentford.
Yeah, Brentford and Everton, I think, did 30 or something, and then they said they want 45, and we said no. But now we're going to go and do 75 on him, and he don't start over Martinelli. But we still need a CM, we still need a striker, and potentially we still need a centre-back because Rob Holding's rubbish. Yeah, but we said all this in the summer, Dan, and we were negative.
Yeah. I was a bit kinder with my rating. I gave it a 6 out of 10 with the rate because I thought Jesus was so good, right? And that made it from your 4 up to 6. But I still said we need. What happens if Partey goes? What happens? Why we only got Eddie as a backup? What happens when Jesus goes out? And I also said centre midfield is so depleted that I don't rate Lokonga. And again, shocker last night, he was terrible. So I said that Tielemans, Sangare, and a centre forward. And I like Tammy Abraham. A lot of people laugh, say he's rubbish. I like him a lot. I think he'd be a good player for us. And obviously Mudryk, if he comes in, that's fine by me. But they're the sort of positions that we're looking at filling if we want to win a title. At the moment, Lee, that's 4 players. We ain't got 1 in yet. So if we do get this Mudryk, that's fine by me. That better not be it. I'll tell you this now. If we don't buy another centre midfielder, we are depleted, mate. Because Lokonga, I don't know. I mean, big up to Vincent Kompany, by the way, because he's done very well at Burnley and they look like they're smashing it. He's taken a team that can't play football and actually made them play football and do well. But what was he on about when he thought that we had the next Yaya Toure in this guy? I mean, this guy
was bigging him up as well.
But I don't get it. He must have been really good for a couple of games they saw him because he is honestly, I think he looks so invisible in the games. I don't know what midfielder he is.
What would you say is worse, Ukrainian League or Belgian League? I'd say Ukrainian League.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And he looked like a world beater in the Belgian league, yeah?
Yeah, good point. I see where you're going with this.
Yeah. Well, Nicola Pepe, by the way, looked a world beater in France, which is apparently a farmers' league. Oh, it's a farmers' league. Okay, what's the Ukrainian league then? Because trust me, mate, yeah, if he drops a 0 out of 10, I'm on him. If he drops a 4 out of 10, I'm on him. You're twerking all over your Instagram to come to this football club. You better deliver when you rock up, mate, because you're giving it all the big talk. Yeah, you're flirting with us left, right, and centre. You better make sure you put out when you get here, mate. Yeah, trust me.
So can I ask you, Lee? Can I ask you? No, listen, it's fair, and I hope he kills it. I hope if we do get him, that is.
So do I.
I hope he kills it. Right. Let me ask you this: if Arsenal are actually not going to go out there and get a couple of signings, and we just get Mudryk, are we going to have to and I'm being serious. I'm not actually joking when I say this, chat. Right, and to you, Lee. Are we actually going to seriously have to consider bringing back Pepe, Patino, Balogun from loan? Because I'm not even joking, mate. We are so depleted. It's scary.
Well, we've got Miguel Aziz back. Do you remember our fans loved his thighs? Oh, he's been on that Ronaldo gym regime. Yes, look at his thighs. Yeah, he flopped at Ibiza. I didn't even know they had a football club.
Neither did I. Why did he go there, man? Jesus Christ.
He played 10 games. We called him back. Well, why weren't he on the bench last night then? Do you know what I mean? Where is he? What, we're paying you for nothing? Right, bro, Balogun has smashed it in France, but he ain't getting in over Eddie because this manager will not pick him. He will not pick him. And none of them players, Patino ain't coming back. Yeah, and do you know what I find hilarious as well down there? Right? Saka, Martinelli, and Saliba still haven't signed a new contract yet. Right? With Saliba, I didn't realize he only had 6 months left on his contract. Yeah, because his contract runs out this summer. I didn't know that. I thought he had another year after that. So we activated that clause in the contract to keep him for another year. Why did we do that? We had to do it by New Year's Eve. Otherwise, we couldn't do it, which meant he could walk out for free in the summer. Why did we get to that point in the first place? Because he don't want to be here, mate. Look at the way he's been treated for 3 years. If he signs a new contract, cool. Yeah, and I'll hold my hands up. Bro, the fact that he has not signed a new contract and we had to activate that clause to keep him, now come the summer, he's got 1 year left. Then what? We ain't done that. What's Edu been doing apart from giving Gabriel Magalhaes a deal and a couple of we'll activate that with Charlie Patino and Salib? What's he done since September? Nothing.
And that's the point. Since September, it's not been since like January 1st. This has been since September when it closes, because that for me, you should go in, especially when you're in a title race, by the way, but this is anyway you should, but especially when you're in a title race, say first, right, it's open, right, let's go get this Mudryk deal done. If that's who they want, this is what I'm saying. Go get that Mudryk deal done, right? You want this Danilo brother in Brazil, right? Let's go over there after that and get him. We'll get them two in on the bench against Newcastle. And then what do you want to do for the Tottenham game? Should we go and get that Felix guy? That's what should have been happening, but we're not. We're sitting there diddly and daddling. Oh, they want 75. We're not willing to pay that. I think we want 70 again. Oh, they know that Shakhtar want this money. They're not going to come down. And you know what? Big up Shakhtar. They're getting like slated. I'd do the same if I was Shakhtar. Anthony, who's he? Went for 90 million. Whew, go on then. He's worth 90 then. He's 21 and he looks better. We'll say we want 90 as well then. Like, it's not why they're doing it. Teams like Man United are ruining it for all of us lot. So I don't sit there and start going, that's out of order, Shakhtar. You're nasty, nasty people for wanting 90 million. Of course they do. They ain't going to go guy and join him for 30. We'll take him there now if you want, are they? So I don't know, man. I'm worried though, Lee. I'm worried.
Here, right? If I'm a Shakhtar fan, I would be asking for his GPS, Mudryk.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if he comes to Arsenal and he plays really well for a season and then Real Madrid start coming in and he gets the rumours of Real Madrid and he starts
going to ask you about this. I was going to ask you about this.
And this fan base are just going, oh yeah, because it's getting loads of traction. Anything with Mudryk in the title, you're getting hits. Yeah, anything with Mudryk in your tweet, you're getting hits. Oh, Mudryk. But mate, I'm sick of hearing the kid's name. Yeah, I genuinely do not care if we sign him. And people go, you're negative. Why am I negative? I don't care if we sign a player I've seen play football twice.
And I was going to ask you, like, seriously about that, Lee, because obviously we've seen with Mikel Arteta that he's fell out with players, not just Aubameyang and Ozil, obviously, Guendouzi, but some others, Pepe, Maitland-Niles. There's about 8 or 9, isn't there, in total, if you look at the reserves and the B team and the A team. Now, Mudryk is twerking for us and everyone thinks it's funny. And yeah, do you know what? Some of his clips have been quite funny. But if we get this guy in and he does that, when 2 years down the line, Real Madrid said, we'll give you this, we'll make you our best ever player, is Arteta just going to go, that's a non-negotiable, and get rid of him? Like, what's his attitude like? Do you know what I mean? Like, what is it all about?
Non-negotiable. It's true. Mate, I had somebody come in my chat the other day and said, yeah, well, he should be twerking because he's in a war-torn country. I said, okay, cool. Well, how many other players that are in the Ukrainian league are being linked to moves? I don't see them all over their Instagrams. There's loads. I don't see them all. Mate, it's called professionalism. You're contracted to play for this football club. Yeah, you don't go on your Instagram. That is like Martin Odegaard sitting there watching Real Madrid games. In fact, forget Real Madrid. Let's say PSG because he played for Madrid. Watching PSG games because there was a story about him being linked to PSG. What would our fan base say? Yeah, it's funny when it don't happen to you, but when it happens to you, it ain't funny anymore, is it? Yeah, and I'm not saying he's going to do that. He might come in, he might smash it, he might be brilliant, he might be the model professional, might be the world beater everyone keeps telling me he is when they've never watched him, right? But, bro, I don't care how much money it costs. Yeah, people keep saying, why'd you moan about the money? I'm not moaning about the money. I'm moaning that the money could be used on 3 positions, not 1. Yeah, and that is my point. And the fact that this kid has been all over his Instagram, I'm sorry, mate. Yeah, if I was the owner of Shakhtar, I'd be fining him every time he goes on Instagram.
Mate, I hear that. And, I wanted to come to you on the recruitment because they've got a lot wrong. I'm not going to be one of these fans who says they get everything right, because they've got a lot wrong, particularly in the first couple of windows. Willian, Ceballos, Cedric, Pablo Marie, Runnison. I'd put Lokonga in that now. Nuno Tavares didn't work out. So, yeah, they've got 6 or 7 wrong. They've also, to be fair to them, got 6 or 7 right. So they're at about 50. They're probably, I'll give them 60-40 of what they've got right, okay? Because they have got some right, Lee. We can't sit there and say they haven't. I think Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, Zinchenko, Gabriel, Partey, Erdegaard, obviously Jesus. You can sit there and say that they got right. You can't big up the Martinelli, the Sakas, the Tierney's, and all those kind of guys because they were there before. Saliba likewise. But that is most of the first 11. Do you trust now that if Mudryk is to come and you think, wow, that's a hell of a lot of money, do you trust that Edu and Arteta will get this one right? Or do you just think, wow, this is just not what I want to be seeing? Because you've kind of said you don't really care if you get him or not. But what I don't still understand from you is, do you actually, if he does come, are you going to be like, what the hell is going on at this club?
Yeah, a little bit what the hell's going on here. I can't lie, Dan. What the hell is going on here? It's the amount of time it's taken as well. And I've seen a lot of people saying, yeah, but Chelsea threw a spanner in the works. Well, if we really wanted him, we would have signed him in the summer.
Yeah, I don't buy that. I don't buy that.
We were scared. We were on deadline day, sitting there glued to Sky Sports News as we were bidding for Douglas Luiz. Okay, we still had money then. So why didn't we put a bid in for him? It makes no sense. Because if we've got all this money in January, where's this money suddenly appeared from? Because we had it in the summer, surely, because this is a new financial year, financial fair play year as well, right? So we had the money. So when we were penny pinching, or Douglas Luiz, that was just to appease the fans, to say, oh, we tried. Yeah, we didn't try. We didn't want Douglas Luiz. That was just to shut the fan base up. Oh, we tried, but this is how smart this football club are, Dan. Yeah. And I've seen so many people in my live chats today saying the exact words that this club have come out with. We are not going to just go and buy any player that doesn't fit the profile of the football club. So that basically gives them a free pass. If we don't sign anyone, didn't fit the profile.
Yeah.
The amount of people I've seen in my chat today saying that, very smart move, right? Because now everyone's on board. And now if we don't buy him, like Douglas, well, we bid for him. Well, we tried. Now, if we don't get anyone other than Mudryk, well, he was the only profile player we could get. Okay, but we're still short, mate. Yeah, but we weren't just going to go and do money. That's how we got in this mess. Yeah, and this is how they manipulate and play the... Dan, we're top of the table, mate.
Yeah.
When Man United and Arsenal were battling it out, we weren't sitting still. We were going out and buying players. Yeah, Chelsea, buy players. Man City, buying players. Yeah, Man City don't really need to do anything right now. But I'll tell you what, if we went out there and got Felix on loan, got a Trossard or as a Hart and got a Tillemans, I guarantee they'd go and sign someone because they think, oh, hang on a minute, that's a wake-up call. They're serious. Instead, they know we ain't serious. And our fan base ain't serious in general because if we don't win the league, well, we were good for half a season, but, we didn't have the money of the other clubs. We're competing with oil money and sheikh money and Saudi money. Like, get in the bin, man. This is Arsenal Football Club. We've got pots of money. And the fact that we're even bidding this much money for this guy shows that we could have spent that in the summer. So they deliberately left us short in the summer.
Mate, I think... Listen, I hear that. Listen, there's over 300 of you in the chat. There's only 80 likes. Come on, people. You can do better than that. Smash it. Like the thing, subscribe if you haven't, and do the same to League Gunner. All it is the title. Just click League Gunner. It goes straight to it. He's on 70-odd K, so let's get him up to 80 people. Listen, Lee, I want to ask you this serious question. How can they pull this back now? They've got 20 days. What would you like? What would you be satisfied with happening and going, do you know what? Bad start. Didn't really like the Felix thing, but fair play to you. You've gone and sorted this out now. What would you like to see us do, man?
We need a midfielder, Dan. 100% need a midfielder. Yeah, whether that's a DM or we're just going to go with El Neni as the backup, which I think we will. But we definitely need a CM, if that's the case. It's either one or the other. We ain't going to go and... Ideally, if it was me and I was in charge right now, I'd be going to buying Caicedo or McAllister, one of the two, and just drop them straight in. I've been raving about McAllister for time. Yeah, Trossard's another one we could look at. Zaha's another one we could look at if we want a player that... Trossard I wouldn't necessarily go for because we've already got Martinelli and Smith Rowe. But if it was me, I'd go Ivan Toney. Yeah. Oh, yeah, but he's got betting scandals. Who cares? Like, genuinely, who cares? Oh, yeah, but he ain't that good. I think people are starting to wake up. They're always 3 months behind us, Dan, or 4 months behind us, aren't they? 6 months behind us. How many times we say stuff and then 6 months later they all catch up? Now, I had somebody come in my chat the other day, yeah, and say, yeah, you're a disgrace. You're in the mud. Yeah, you're so negative. You didn't trust the process. I said, am I in the mud, mate? My standards through the whole of this process compete for a title. Nice that you lot have all caught up. It's true, isn't it? My standards
listen,
the whole time he's been manager. I said compete for a title.
I've been told I'm in the mud because I didn't trust the process, mate. We come 8th, 8th, and 5th. What was I supposed to get excited about? I don't get it. I don't understand why I'm in the mud.
Finishing 8th, 8th, and 5th. I was saying this it's a disgrace where Arsenal compete, but I'm still saying the same now, and you lot have all caught up.
Yeah, and we're in a title race now, and we're in the mud. Well, actually, we asked for that. Should we be like the ones that would be? I don't get it, bro. I don't understand it.
But the mad thing
is, maybe we should fuck off down the lane.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Yeah, get yourself.
That's
down
what
the
they tell us, isn't it? Oh,
yeah,
get yourself down the lane.
Dan, this club will only sign Mudryk in this January window unless they go and loan some cheap little signing from somewhere for a couple of mil. Yeah, and then they'll drop the Saka deal, yeah, which is probably already signed and sealed. Yeah, and they'll appease all the fan base because this fan base, I'm telling you right now, yeah, clip it. Remember the video. Remember I said it. It's currently 7:45 Spanish time on the 10th of January on Tuesday. I'm telling you now, this player, Mudryk, will be the most protected footballer ever in the history of Arsenal Football Club. Doesn't matter what he does at this club, this fan base won't ever, ever, ever call it out. They'll never call it out. Look at what happened with Ozil, Dan. Yeah, that guy was so protected. I was at Anfield when we're getting pumped, and he sat on the floor crying.
You're preaching to the choir, bro.
Mate, Mudryk's going to be in that category, even higher, right? And listen, he can be brilliant. We don't know. Yeah, the way our fans have gassed him up, and I've said this to you a million times, when this fan base en masse, the majority want something, I don't want it. Because they ain't got a clue what day it is, mate.
Well, listen, I'm gonna bring this super chat up because I think well, I agree with half of it. I'm not gonna say I agree with all of it. Big up Vindaloo, man. Thank you for the super chat, brother. Much appreciate that.
The other night.
Oh, Vindaloo, do you go for a Vindaloo, do you? Wow.
They didn't have foul. They don't do. I'd go higher than that.
Oh,
do
you? You go foul?
No, actually, I did. I'm wearing it. It was a foul. I did have a foul. It wasn't Vindaloo.
Oh, mate, fair play to you, man. I feel sorry for your missus, though, bro. Listen, he says St. Maximan, James Maddison, Tielemans, and Ivan Toney. Emil Smith Rowe's back, and hopefully Jesus ain't too far away. Proven players in the Premier League. I agree with 3 of them. I don't agree with St. Maximan, but I agree with Maddison, Tielemans, and Ivan Toney. It's not that I hate St. Maximan. I just think he's a little bit overrated in terms of his figures. I don't really think he does it. And he's always injured. I don't see him deliver really. But good. Listen, good player.
Again, he's another one who can run fast. He's got a funky haircut. Yeah, and when it comes off, he looks like a world-class footballer. Yeah, anyone with a funky haircut that can run 100 miles an hour.
A bit like Traore. Adama Traore is another one that I'm like that with. The Adama Traore, a bit like him. But listen,
I use him on FIFA though, Dan, which is why they lot want Mudryk, because they can use him on FIFA. He's got 88 pace. He has one half decent game instantly because he plays for Arsenal. FIFA are giving him an upgrade to 92 pace. Yeah, they'll upgrade him from his 74 card up to an 84, and all of a sudden, oh yes, I've got Mudryk in my team. Get in the bin.
Listen, it is a bit like that. The one thing I agree with him on is Premier League proven players, and I said to you earlier about getting like a Trossard, Zaha, and Tielemans type players in because they're all doing it now in the Premier League, and I kind of stick to that. I kind of stand by that and think that would be good. But I ask you about midfield. Do you see one coming in, mate, midfielder? Because I don't know if I do, man. The way it's going at the moment.
Dan, I swear, we're only signing Mudryk, mate. Yeah, I'll be shocked if we sign anyone else because I don't see us spending in excess of 100 mil this window. I really don't. And if we're going to go and do Mudryk, yes, with add-ons, it'll be 75, 80, but initially it'll be about 50, 55, yeah?
Yeah.
But then if you want a midfielder of any level, any decent level, that's going to be 35, 40. Yeah, maybe a cheap one that's a young up-and-coming prospect, fits the profile of the football club, maybe 20. So now we've done 75. And do you know what's funny, right? This whole Mudryk thing makes me laugh because everyone tells us, oh, in January, it's hard to get players. What clubs want to sell their best players in January? Well, that's being blown out the water with this deal, isn't it? Yeah. Felix is the best player at Atletico Madrid. They've just let him walk out for 15.5 million quid for 4.5 months. Yeah, Enzo Fernandez. Chelsea still might get him, 100 mil.
Yeah, I think they will get him. I think that Benfica are just trying to get us.
January's a hard window, Dan. It's not hard if you've got the money and you pay it. It's really not difficult. And
I agree with that.
The reason, somebody asked me a great question on my last stream. He said, why do you think Arsenal and Man United take so long to do business? And I said, because we ain't respected. We plot up at a football club and it's all bartering, haggling. Chelsea just go, bang, deal. Man City, bang, deal. Liverpool just move in silence. Yeah, Gakpo, I thought he was going to United. Next thing, bang, signed for Liverpool.
It's mad.
Yeah, Nunes was the same. Who was the other one? Luis Diaz was another one. Bang, signed. But we are not respected by any of these clubs around Europe because over the last 10, 15 years, both of them clubs, Arsenal and United, have just been absolutely atrocious in the transfer window, negotiating and bartering and haggling over a couple of mil. Mate, I'm not being funny. 15.5 mil for João Felix. That should have been the first signing on the 1st of January. Yeah,
I hear that.
I hear that. And then if you want to get Mudryk, get Mudryk. If you don't, get him in the summer. What we should be doing is going, right, well, we'll buy. He's a summer signing. He ain't now. But what's going to happen is he's going to come in. He ain't kicked a ball since November the 23rd. Their season don't start again until the 28th of February. So that's 3 months if he stays there. He ain't kicked a ball, right? If he comes to us, he ain't going to be in before the Man City League Cup game. FA Cup game. And if he is he playing? No, he ain't played football for 2 months. So now it's going to, he needs time to adapt to the new league, to a new country. So we're not going to see him this season, really, are we? So why are we doing it now? When we could,
I hear that. It's a good point.
Buy some of them players that have just been put up on screen, and then if you want him next summer, that's a new financial year, new financial fair play year. Then you can go and do him. But what do I know? I'm just a numpty YouTuber.
Geordie Toon for Life says, when is the Race for Europe show? It's going to be tomorrow night at 7 p.m, bruv. So make sure you tune in for that, everyone, because that is going to be a sick show as always. I know you all love that show. So and so do I. It's a great one. Lee, I wanted to ask you, man. Arteta. Let's start with Arteta. Me and you have been harsh with Arteta. Some would say it's been justified. Some would say it's not been. Personally, mate, I don't think me and you have a right to say that he's had a bad season. I think he's been superb, what I've seen. I think, like you say, he's overachieved with this side. There's always going to be the question, Lee, of he ain't done anything yet. Is it sustainable? And rightly so. I think that is fair. You can have a good first season and a half of a season, and a bad second half of the season. I'm going to lay off Arteta, and I'll tell you why. 2 reasons. One, because he shut me up in terms of you're not good enough. You're not good enough. And second of all, because I don't think this is on him, this new transfer window. I'm looking at the Cronkies. I'm looking at Edu. Looking at Vinay. I mean, how is he still here, by the way? That's a whole nother podcast.
Sofa salesman, DFS salesman.
I mean, it's unreal.
You want a new Italian leather suite, mate? He's the guy.
Mate, it is unbelievable that he's still here. So I think personally, my question is going to be, if we don't do something this January, Stan Kroenke, what the hell is going on? Actually, Josh Kroenke, because Silent Stan's over in America. Josh Kroenke, what is going on? So my kind of question to you is, where does the blame lie this January if it's poor? Because we had a poor one last January, and they haven't learned and have a poor one this January. Who are you pointing the fingers at, mate?
Edu. I wouldn't necessarily blame the Cronkies. I would and I wouldn't. Yeah, and the reason I say I wouldn't, Edu knows the budget. Yeah, so does Tim Lewis. So does Richard Garlick. Yeah, so does Vinay. They all know the budget, bro. Yeah, all that happens is the Cronkies have put these people in positions to get the job done to how they see best. The Cronkies couldn't care less whether we spend or not. Let's be real with that. Right, but they've put people in position to buy players or to run the football club, be the lawyer of the club, be this and be that, right? But every single one of them knows the finances of that football club. Even Arteta will know the ins and outs. Yeah, maybe not to the same level as Vinay, but he will still know how much money we can have. Then he'll leave it to Edu. They'll be having conversations. We see that they have a meeting every week. We see that on the All for Nothing, unless that was just lip service. Like when Vinay was coming in with Edu's cup of coffee, I made you a coffee, Edu.
Done.
He's literally the tea boy. Yeah,
it was as if the camera had gone, ready, action, and he'd come in with a tea. or coffee,
Embarrassing.
wherever it
But
was.
they all know
Unbelievable.
they all know the budget. They all know how much money we can spend. We all know, or they will all know how much we can go to on a player, how much the total budget is, how much it is per year, because obviously it's amortized. Yeah, so you're not paying when it's 75 mil, you're not paying all that up front. You're doing that over the contract up front and add-ons and all of that. Yeah, and that's where you have Tim Lewis, Richard Garlick, Edu. Arteta's part of that committee, and so is Josh Kroenke. But Arteta ain't in charge of the money. Yeah, Edu, Vinay, Garlic, and Lewis, they're all in charge. Yeah, yes, Josh Kroenke will be part of that, but he's already sanctioned, yo, we can spend this much. We've got X amount. Maybe he hasn't. Maybe he's being hard. Maybe he's not saying, no, you can't have that. Yeah, but I very much doubt that based on the fact that since Arteta's been at this football club, he's literally got everything he wants. He got Ozil out, Aubameyang out, Mustafi, Kolasinac, yeah, Socrates. Literally every single player he's wanted out, he's got out. Every player he's wanted in, he's got in. So I think that it's got to be on them. Maybe not so much Kroenke, but at the same time, Kroenke sets the standards. And if he don't set the standards, then this fan base have to. And the fan base couldn't care less. Yeah, they're happy with fourth Dan. Yeah, so why would the Kroenkes care? Because they don't want to spend any money anyway. Yeah, which is why when we're sat at the top of the table, if any other club was sat top of the table right now, Dan, in the position that we're in with that squad, do you think that they'd sit there after 10 days with no signings?
No, not at all, mate. That's why I'm frustrated. That's why I'm frustrated. I'll tell you where I'm at with it, right? Because we're going to wrap up in a few minutes, right? I'll tell you where I'm at. The reason I'm not going to go on Arteta is nothing to take away how good we've been, take away the football. I'm not talking about that for a minute. Because he's come out in all of his interviews and most of his press conferences and has made it sound as if we need players. He's never sat behind that. He's never tried to go, oh, I'm happy with my squad. It's a big squad. I've got loads of players coming through. He's never mentioned any of that crap like Wenger used to. He's come out and he said, I like where we are at the moment. If there's an opportunity for us to maximize this window, 100% we will. That's basically saying we're going to sign players. A few weeks ago, he said exactly the same thing in a press conference, saying that at the moment it's really difficult with the squad that we've got, but we're trying, and we've got some injuries at the moment, and the window is going to be, maximized. Now, I know he said that before, that we're going to maximize every window, and we saw last January, so there's a bit of a question mark there for me. But he's not the one I'm going to come for. I'm going to go for all of the others. And the reason I'm going to go for all of the others is because they've all got questions to answer. Edu, what the hell have you been doing? Josh Kroenke, why are you not actually funding us a title to go and win? Because it's there, looking you in the face. Vinay, go and make some more coffee or go, mate, because I don't understand what you do, bruv. It is absolutely embarrassing what this guy does. Go and make coffee at Costa. I don't want this guy here. It's just absolute waste of time for me. So that's why I'm coming for them all, because I honestly will lose my head again, and I've done it a few times with this regime, but I will lose my head again if that window closes and we have Mudryk. Because as much as I think it's a good signing and excited about what he's going to bring, unlike what you've said previously on the pod, I think I'm going to be like, we've got Smith Rowe, Saka, Jesus, Martinelli, and Mudryk. We still don't have a centre midfielder. We still don't have a defensive midfielder to cover for Partey or Chaka. We still don't have a centre forward to cover for Jesus. Oh, Martinelli and Eddie are there. Martinelli and Eddie there. Yeah, it ain't going to be enough for one of them to get another pull hamstring. We ain't got anyone there. So when I look at it, mate, I personally will be coming for all of them. And people might think that's harsh because Kroenke's already given Arteta 400 million. Facts, he has. He needs to go and back him now. And what he should be doing, in my opinion, as an owner, and this is what Roman used to do. What do you need, mate? You need a title, don't you? What do you want, Felix? Oh, it's 20 million though for a loan. Here, 25. Have it. Go get it done. Who do you want next? Mudryk, but he's like 90 million. Well, yeah, I'll just go and get him if you really want him. 95 million. What's the next one you want? Oh, I want to go and get Ibrahim Sangare from PSV. We need someone to cover for Partey. What's he going to cost? 30 million or something? Yeah, there you go. Take 35. Go and do it. That's what I need to see from my owner. And I was on a show earlier and Lawless, bless him, went, oh, you're spoiled. Yeah, do you know what? I am a bit spoiled because I grew up in the 90s where actually one saying, it's coming from a West Ham fan, by the way, telling me I'm spoiled.
Mate,
so,
the last time they won a trophy, I was 40. Well, I wasn't even born, but I'm 41 this year. I think the last time they won a trophy was 42 or 43 years ago. So 1980.
1980. So you go against us in the FA Cup. So listen, it's one of those, and I love Lawless. I'm bantering him, but I just sat there and I thought, are we for real here? Like, this is a title race. We're not trying to squeeze into the top four
to win and compete. Yeah, and since then we've been a laughing stock. Yeah. So excuse me if I'm not having to dig it in, he's sound, but excuse me if people, I had somebody in the chat here earlier saying you're negative. Well, why watch it then? You know what I'm going to say.
Oh yeah, mate. I've had that in here loads of times before.
They know
You're
what we're going to
negative.
say. You're negative. How's it negative wanting to win the? Oh, sorry, maybe it is negative to want to win the title nowadays because it's the competing and the taking part. Because everyone has to be a unicorn these days. Oh, I'm a unicorn, a non-binary unicorn. It's not even man of the match. By the way, can I just say it's not even man of the match? I've only just found this out this season. The other day, I was looking. What game was it? Newcastle. It came up player of the match. What? Why is it not man of the match? Player of the match, man. Yeah, so it's not surprising that most of these people, that when we're sitting here saying dominate, go for a title, do this, do that, it's no coincidence that all these people are, oh, it's so negative.
Yeah, I will say that although Daniel has put you're so negative, because I looked at his comment, he is actually only mucking around because he's put you two are negative. You can F off down the lane. So he's obviously taking a mick.
You will be on Sunday, wouldn't you?
Yeah, listen, I'm not. Do you know what? Do you know what, mate? I'm actually not going to this one. I'm actually not. No, I'm not going to this one. But I went there last year, and
you let your country down.
I'm an armchair fan. But yeah, you let your country down is going to be a funny one, and there's another one which I won't repeat on here because I'll probably get demonetized. But that will probably be going quite well.
He might break Jimmy Greaves' record.
He's gonna. He'll score against us. He always does. His annual
obliged penalty in there somewhere, bro. Because every game,
and there'll be a red card like there always is. It moves me nicely onto that game to finish, mate. For the last couple, mate. I'm never confident going there because 9 years of it's taken since Rosicky 1-0 in the first minute got us a win there. But if we were to ever be confident of taking 3 points, it would be the way we're playing it this season. They've got Kulusevski and Bentancur potentially back, which is bad news for Arsenal because they're a completely different side when they have them in there. They're going to be buzzing for it because they know they have to win. They literally cannot lose this because they're just in the mud already. They'll be even more mudded. But I do go there with a little bit of momentum lost against, obviously, Oxford. It doesn't really matter. It was Oxford, but obviously we had Newcastle who found a way to play against us. What's your thoughts on this one? Conte might play similarly to Newcastle for a bit, beat us up and bully us a bit, but it's at their place. They will be PTSD from last season for Arsenal fans. There's going to be a red card and a penalty because there always pretty much is. So what's your thoughts on this one, man, going into the North London derby?
On paper, we should batter them. But the game is not played on paper, Dan. And even when we had our great teams back in the early 2000s, we went there and won 5-4. I remember they scored 4. Was that at their ground? I think that was
5-4, yeah. At their ground, yeah.
Yeah, 5-4. And, mate, that's what I'm saying. These games, like, when you look at it, they're in the gutter and we're flying high. So, really, it's a formality. But the problem we have is all week, all of these media outlets, Sky Sports, BT Sport, everywhere, oh, Arsenal haven't won at White Hart Lane since 2014. So now the players are sitting at home nearing that. It happens at every stadium, bro. When Tottenham come to us, oh, well, Tottenham haven't won at our ground since then, like 2010. Yeah, it plays in your head. It does. It's psychological. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised with any result, but I don't think we'll beat them. Yeah, but I think a draw. And the thing is, we know he's going to score. Yeah, we know he's going to score. He's going to be fired up for that game, mate. He can score and overtake the record, and be the new hero of Tottenham, like the all-time top goal scorer, by doing it in a North London derby. Like that's just mad how that's even worked out, isn't it? It's crazy. Yeah, and I just think that we need to be on it. We need to be proper on it. Eddie needs to, like, listen, I know he scored 2 good goals last night, very nice finishes. But if he gets a chance like he did against Newcastle, has to be in the back of the net.
Agreed.
Has to be. Yeah, because if we don't take chances like that, well, he ain't missing. Yeah, Kane ain't. If that was Harry Kane in that position, that's 1-0.
Yeah, it is. And I got slated for saying Eddie should have scored that. Apparently, Nick Pope was a world-class save. I'm sorry, mate. He needs to be putting him in.
It was straight at him.
I thought
he just spread his leg a little bit. Like, come on, what's the matter with these people, man?
Well, listen, you can't say anything bad, it seems. But I wasn't even being horrible to you. I actually said he played well.
You're not allowed to have any kind of toxicity in the fan base, Dan. Otherwise, you're not one of us. Good. I don't want to be one of you.
Yeah, I'm with you there, mate. It's mad. And it's crazy, do you know what? Because Eddie, for me, has proved some doubters wrong. He scored in the League Cup that he only played in once. He's had 1 game in the FA Cup and scored 2 goals. He scored 3 in the Europa League. I think he's got 4 in the Premier League. And if I say, oh, he should have scored that, oh, you're out of order to Eddie, lay off of him. Actually, I've been picking him up. And I've been saying, do you know what? He's done what Jesus hasn't been able to do in the last few games, score goals. I know he doesn't bring everything else to it, but he's actually been proving a lot of doubters wrong and some fair play to him. But it still ain't enough. We still need another centre forward because if he pulls a hammy, we're down to no one again. So I don't understand how you win, mate. You can't win. I've just accepted
Grant's
that.
made a great point earlier. Yeah, he said, like, if you look back at the Man United teams, right, back in the day, they had 3-4 strikers. Like when Fergie was in his pomp, like Berbatov, like they had Andy Cole, Dwight York, Teddy Sheringham, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Yeah, that was when it was only us against them.
Yeah, so true, man.
Do you know what I'm saying? And why was that?
It was, wasn't it? Dwight York, Andy Cole, Teddy Sheringham, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as their 4 in 99. And we've got Eddie at the moment.
We've got Eddie. That's it.
And we're negative for saying we want more. It's crazy, really, isn't
mate, it's negative. It's negative, Dan. But listen, he should have scored that goal the other day. Yeah, he ain't good enough. He ain't good enough for Arsenal. He looked great against Oxford. That's probably his level. Like, he couldn't even get in Leeds United's team in the Championship, Dan.
Yeah.
Like, and he'll go and score some good goals and it looks good. Let's not forget, he missed an absolute sitter last night. 2 yards out, spooned it over the bar. Nearly went out the ground. Yeah, open goal right in front of the keeper. Bang, over the bar. Yeah, it looks cool when he scores. Oh, yeah, Eddie's proven everyone wrong. Cool. Yeah, Eddie ain't proved me wrong yet. Yeah, the guy still will not get a game as soon as Jesus is back. So if he's any good, he'd be starting every week, regardless of Jesus being in the team. They would have to put Jesus on the bench because if he's that good, Jesus don't walk straight back in. He ain't that good. He ain't that good. Listen, grown up Palace swapping for Sahar. Job done. Yeah, Sahar will play second fiddle. He's older, he's more mature, he knows the league, and he can play all 3 positions up front. Go and get him. We're instantly better.
Yeah, listen, he's a gooner and he plays across the front 3, and I don't understand why no one is actually in for him. I like Sahar always have
twerks on Instagram, Dan. Do you know, for Arsenal?
Well, I don't think he has, mate. Maybe that's why we're not going in for him, bruv. It seems a bit weird. Before I get this Muppet out of the chat, I've got to put his comment up because it's absolutely hilarious. This, where is it? Here we go. Negative, all of you hate watching you. What are you doing it for then? Why are you watching us? I just don't get this. Why would you click on someone's?
They don't hate us, mate. It's like he wanted his comment pinned. He can now sit there and clip it.
You get really excited.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Put my comment up.
Man, it's no coincidence, right? All these people that come and chat crap in the comments, yeah. Right. It's no coincidence that they spent nearly 3 years in lockdowns. Right. They had no interaction with the outside world, yeah. Right. And they were already thick as 2 short planks anyway. And now they've gone out of lockdowns and they're now still sat in their bedrooms because they're now scared of their own shadow. So now it's, oh, I don't like him. I'm going to go and watch him every day. There's probably people in this that hate me that have watched every single stream I've done today. And they'll still watch the Newcastle watch along in 20 minutes. Like, cheers. Yeah, cheers. I'm doing my thing. And if people don't like it, tough. Yeah, let me tell you something, right? This platform is Dan's platform. This is his. My platform is mine. If you want to come and be part of that, you have to subscribe or click on it to watch. Yeah. I didn't invite you in. You just turned up. So when you come here, if you don't like it, well, there's the door, mate. I don't care. Yeah, every time somebody says, I'm unsubscribing from you, do you think I give a shit? I don't get paid off subscribers. I get paid off of views. Jesus Christ, what's the matter? We're like, oh, please don't go, come back. Oh, idiots.
It's funny because I went on my mate's channel the other day and I got a comment saying, Dan Potts here, unsubscribed. And I said, I'm so sorry that one guy's gone, man. Are you going to, could you do me a favor? Please don't quit YouTube. Stay on. You'll be fine. Don't worry. Do you know what I mean? Do they actually think people are going to care?
I get people say that to me as well. Yeah, close your channel. Just quit. Okay, mate. All right, boss. Every time I go on Terry's channel, the comments, I said this to you earlier, didn't I? The comments is, you're negative, you're toxic, blah, 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 blah. And then they spend the whole hour or so constantly commenting. And then next Tuesday, they come back again. Mate, Terry does about 4 shows a day. I'm only on 1 out of what, 28 a week? I'm on 1. I'm pretty sure you can swerve past that one. Oh, I used to love watching this channel. Yeah. And I unsubscribed from Lee because I didn't like him. One comment said earlier today on Terry's channel. I unsubscribed to him. He's a bellend. And now I'm going to have to unsubscribe to this channel because he's now on here. Mate, it's 1 out of 28 shows. Turn it in. What's the matter with these people? Yeah. They're all weak. weak weirdos, man. Like,
so weird, man. I
dopamine
don't
release,
get it.
Dad. Like, this is why I wind them all up. Yeah, I'll call them out. Mate, I want you to come back and watch every day. Yeah, keep getting me paid. If you lot didn't watch me, I'd like the haters, I'd probably earn half the money.
I love that, man. Listen,
I love it. I'm here for it, Dan. 23. I'm on it, mate. I ain't mucking about this year. I'm going to wind up everybody, literally everybody. And I'm going to be flooding YouTube. Yeah, I've done the show with Troops today. I've done an upload already. I've done a show with Terry. I've done a show with you. I'm about to do a watch along. So there's 5.
wow.
Yeah,
Mate.
and that's me every day. Tomorrow's the same. Yeah, I'm going to be flooding it. So if people are bored of what I'm saying, tough. Don't watch it. I'll put and you can follow my Instagram so you can see when I'm putting like my shows out and when I'm on. Yes, and you can make sure that you deliberately miss it.
Mate. Facts. Let's leave it there. Make sure, people, that you smash a like on this one. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button on the road to 7K. So please help me get there, please, people. And if you click, do one or two things. You either search Lee Gunner, or you can just click on the title of this program because it's on there and it goes straight to his channel. And what you on 77K or something like that, isn't it? What you on?
Nah, not quite.
It's up there, like near that, isn't it?
75. It just went over 75 about 2 hours ago.
There we go. 75. I weren't too far off. So there you go. Make sure you
channel as well. Second channel.
Yeah. Plug that, man. What is that? Go on.
Just type in on the search on YouTube at Lee Reacts. Yeah,
because you're about 7, aren't you?
7.2.
There you go, man. Absolutely smashing it, bruv. So keep doing your thing, man. You know I've got your back, man. You know I love you, and thank you so much for coming on here, bruv. Everybody loves you on here, and so do I. So make sure you do that, people. We're gonna see you. Nah, man, always. We'll see you guys back tomorrow, where myself and Lawless and Tobes and Errol and Dan, you know, everyone will be on talking all things Race for Europe show. So we're going to be back there tomorrow.
Before you end, I just want to highlight that comment. You're moaning about signings, but effing be happy for once. We're first. Mate, that attitude got us from 4th to 5th last season, by the way. Why are you moaning? We're 4th. Yeah, my standards are up here, mate. Yeah, I'll try and drag you up to them. Like, come on.
Keep trying, mate.
Come on. Yeah, why are you moaning? We're 4th. Okay, we ended up 5th. Well done.
Listen, and everyone will have PTSD of that, mate. And what happened last January, the same as what's happening this January at the moment. So let's hope we learn from it, man, and we go and get a couple of players in and push for that title. People, we're out of here. Big up yourself, Lee. Big up everyone in the chat. We'll see you next time. Take it easy and up the Arsenal.
Haters out.